Hey everybody, hope everyone's having a great spring semester so far. So before I get started, I thought I'd show you where I'm at. So I am located in a bunch of a hiking spot that's right by the dorms parking lot. I'm at CSU East Bay in Hayward, California. So you can see here, you got a nice little stream, got really nice, good hiking spots. And I gotta tell you, it's pretty it's pretty decent actually. I like to go here every morning whenever I come to campus, as it's a way for me to freshen my mind, get mentally recharged, and to have just a quiet moment to myself, though, especially as for me, I find nature to be very healing and very meaningful in regards to my mental health and my spirituality. So nature is a way for me to heal and to connect and to mentally recharge before I get to class. So if you ever like to go hike sometime, I recommend checking out the trails that start at the parking lot by the dorms at CSU East Bay. It's pretty good, and it's one of the reasons why I like CSU East Bay compared to my alma mater for undergrad, which is that it's very sparse and has huge wide open spaces, which helps given that it's on a hill, and the fact that there's a lot more green spaces and it's not as urbanized as, say, downtown San Jose. So those are some nice benefits, though, for sure. And not to mention that the community seems small but tight knit. So I kind of like that feel. It gives me the opportunity to connect with people more deeply and thoughtfully, and really have a chance to connect with other professors and whatnot. So really good stuff. Thought I'd put it out there. But anyway, I guess I should talk about, how my time at CSU East Bay has been. So far, it's been really good, actually. I got to be part of a new club at CSU East Bay, which is the American Statistical Association, a student chapter that's recently started. It's now based at Hayward, California. And it's been pretty good. As for anyone who doesn't know, I am majoring in statistics. So it really fits my major, not to mention that it gives me opportunity to connect with other stats majors, as one of the problems that I had with my times in undergrad is that a lot of times when you go to these STEM clubs or these science-related extracurricular activities, a lot of times it just feels as if you're going to another class. And that is the last thing I want to feel when I'm spending roughly half my day in class. As at the end of the day, grades do matter, but they don't matter as much as the connections you're going to form through your college experience. Especially given this pandemic, mental health has been quite a very important thing that's not been acknowledged enough in the STEM field. And you have people coming out through this pandemic with a lot of depression, suicide, and a lot of challenges that relate to the mental health. And these are areas that many circles in the STEM field aren't very good at. And so part of what we're trying to do here with ASA is to try to make it more social and not as work grindy as you would find in the old school kind of tech world. As we want it to be social, we want it to be fun, we want it to be about connecting with people. And we do it through the context of statistics. So not only are you connecting with other statistics majors, or anyone interested in statistics, you're also doing social engagements that relate to STEM. Maybe go to some speakers that are going to be coming on to talk about their research or their field of interest, as those are the only areas that are remotely STEM related or statistics related. As other than that, we typically planning to have social activities where you get to hang out with one another, maybe go out to eat out, get to know your classmates and the people that are majoring in your respective area. So a lot more social, it's a lot of fun, and can't wait to really get started, as this is the first semester we're launching this club. So I'm really excited about this. I'm really proud of what has come to, all the work that I've done for it, and I hope to keep the club going. So if you're all interested, you can check out the link tree to ASA in the video description. I'll put down the link tree where you can get all these relevant links for ASA and especially any social media platforms related to our club. And I know that if you go on these websites, there's not going to be much material as we're barely starting out, so bear with us. But we will post more and more as we continue to evolve and kind of like figure out kind of the mojo of this club. So keep that in mind. And so anyway, what else is there on my mind? Well, I guess when it comes to like coursework, I think that so far the coursework is pretty nice, and it's a good amount of difficulty, and it's also a good amount of fun in particular. As when I did my first full semester here at CSU East Bay, I took the course Probability and Statistical Theory as well as Statistical Methods, which are, I guess if you're following the typical conventional Master's Statistics roadmap here at CSU East Bay, those are the first major courses that you end up taking at CSU East Bay, which are courses that are going to be pretty overwhelming for a lot of folks. And this is something I mentioned in my previous video, as you're going to be learning a lot about combinatorics. You're learning a lot of a different way of thinking that's sort of derived from discrete math, along with some references to calculus, especially when you get to the more calculus-based parts of statistics, namely creating moment-generating functions, which you'll learn in Stat 620 or Probability Statistical Theory, and also just the least squares estimate when it comes to approximating the parameters of a linear regression. All these things that you're going to be learning at, and which are going to kind of be thrown at you in the first semester, which is pretty overwhelming if you don't have a strong math background. As while the major description does say that you need up to at least Calculus 2, I highly recommend Calculus 3 and perhaps taking linear algebra on the side or some basic statistics class that's more algebra based or so in preparation for this program. As while you can still get by with just Calculus 2 knowledge, it's very intense as they throw so much math concepts to you that sometimes you don't always have enough time to digest the proofs or the methodology behind how these methods are conceived. So with that in mind, so it might help a lot if you take a lot of extra, have a bit of a stronger math background if you're coming in. I'm not saying this just to gatekeep for those that don't have that background, as well you can still succeed. I think you appreciate a lot of what is done in statistics if you have that math background. As while we do cover a bit of theory, it's a bit of a black box in some sense, if that makes sense. And that while you do know a little bit of the theory, you don't know too much about the derivations of them. I mean, you only just enough just to understand where they come from, at least. And so we had to deal with that for the first full semester at CSU East Bay, and it was quite a struggle. I mean, while I did combinatorics before in the past, it was a lot to recall information that I didn't remember for at least 2 years. I kind of forgot for 2 years. So it was kind of nice to get my feet wet as well, and it was a good way to bond with other stats members, just being in that struggle of just trying to figure out the foundational knowledge we need to get into stats, and just dealing with something new that's probably not commonly encountered in a lot of undergrad math courses. So overall, it's been pretty fun, pretty exciting. Made some new friends and formed some classmates that I've got to talk to and kind of bonded over with study groups and all of that. And overall, it's been pretty pleasant, though. As when I came into this program, I used to think that that I'm going to be spending a lot of my time on campus alone, as that was my experience doing my undergrad at San Jose State, being alone and constantly dealing with people that are walking job elevator pitches where it's almost very superficial, where it's all about what you have on your resume than actually getting to know each other as people. And I had that mentality coming in, but then once we started getting a study group together, it became more than just that. We started hanging out, we started eating out, we started doing so many things together, even played arcade games together. It became sort of a community, and that was just something that I'm proud to be a part of. As not only did I make new friends, I also got to connect with people and get that social life that I've wanted. And then furthermore, it speaks to another reason as to why I major in statistics. And part of that reason is that I like the fact that statistics is very humanity-centered and that it overlaps so much with psychology compared to other STEM majors, which tend to be so technical and pretty dry that you don't get that connection between the work that you're doing and how it impacts the lives of other people. Maybe you do in an abstract sense, but it's not direct enough where you can clearly see that connection. But with statistics, on the other hand, I can see it. And one example I could give is surveys. As when you give out a survey, you do so oftentimes because you want to understand what people think and understand different nuances to this kind of social issues or political issues or economic issues that you're trying to study. And I find that when I do these surveys, every survey I give out represents one person. You know, some people, they may see just numbers, but to me, I see the meaning behind the numbers. I see the humanity behind it, as every respondent is one person. Every word, every thought that's poured into these surveys represents the viewpoints of a complex and unique human being who has a lot of things to say about the world or the issues we're trying to study. So there's a sense of humanity, a sense of community, a sense of connecting with people that comes with statistics that helps us to stay in touch with humanity while still being technical and rigorous with our methodology. And it's the thing that attracts me to statistics, as I like to look at social issues. I like to look at social psychology or all these issues that speak to our human stories and to the political, the social issues that affect our everyday lives. And statistics serves as the means for me to tap into that, to really understand. And I know part of statistics is recognizing that we may get a broad or unique understanding of people. You have to remember that it doesn't apply to everybody. But even then, it does help me to get a better sense of the world around me. And that's kind of what I've wanted to explore and what I've always struggled with as an autistic person. You know, having a learning disability made it difficult for me to really connect with people emotionally or intimately, or just in all these different nuances ways that just cuts below the surface. And so statistics, while it's very technical and sometimes dry at times, it does give me a way to broaden my understanding of the world that helps to keep me well-rounded, but also find my place and sense and of nature and place in this world. So as theological and spiritual as my passion for statistics can be, that is kind of what I like about statistics and what I like about my time here at CSU East Bay. As I could tell you that this is only scratching the surface of my time in statistics. I mean, I only have a year left before I graduate, but it's something that I'm passionate about, I look forward to, and it's what motivates me to this day, as while my course load is a bit of a pain right now, as it's a lot easier than last semester, but it's still as complex. I think the community, the friendships, the interaction, and what I'm going to be learning on this journey is more than enough to keep me invested in this program. So that's a little bit about my spiel, as I have to go now. So thank you all for listening. If you like this video, please like it. If you have any thoughts or comments or questions, feel free to put them down in the video. And I hope you all stay tuned for the next video. So have a great spring and take care.